All right, take two. I am Brun, BJ Swick33. I am with the lovely guy in the middle is Rob, also known as Presar, and the guy at the bottom is Mark, also known as Wingman709. And this is This Xbox Life, episode 335. Who needs VR?
I'm not lovely?
Yes, you are lovely.
What the heck, man?
Well, I don't have to say it when it's just obvious. I have to point it out for people, for Rob.
What?
Sorry, Rob. So, yes, take two. Hopefully the audio levels are good. I am doing it this week. I prepped all week to being able to use my board, and then Friday it all went to crap because UPS had an issue. So I had to put it all back in, people that are watching right now, you'll see this lovely microphone come in right in front of my face, and it'll make me sound very special. But it's not on right now, so I just slide it back, and we'll try again next week. Now, I will say, guys, with testing this microphone, it does pick up a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff. So we'll definitely have to do some tests, rounds of tests before, a Sunday night when this stuff gets introduced into the stream. Or for the stream. But, alright. So, with that said, thisxboxlife.com is our main website. You can go there to see the latest episodes, get stuff like that. Also, we have links to, Amazon.com, which is, I'm checking the wrong stuff, guys. Amazon.com, which is where you can go to help us out. It's thisxboxlife.com/Amazon. And Rob was telling us that he did some work on it this week. So people from multiple countries, if your country is available, and you go to our site and you click on it, it'll take you to the proper place. Is that correct, Rob? Did I say that right?
Yeah, I changed the Amazon system just slightly on the website. So if you go to the homepage of the website of thisxboxlife.com, at the top right in the sidebar, you'll see an Amazon link. I took out the Xbox image that was there before. Just click on the Amazon image, like the little Amazon smiley face. It'll take you to the country, hopefully, that you reside in. If there's an Amazon store in that country, and we have an affiliate link for them, it'll just take you there. Otherwise, it'll put you in the U.S. Link, and it'll take you to the homepage of Amazon. It won't take you to the product pages anymore like it did in the past. So you can just search for whatever you want to your heart's content, and buy if you want.
Yep. And I got some people saying that you are really loud, Rob.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Yes. Also, you can go to patreon.com/thisxboxlife if you want to become our patron. That helps us out for, we're saving to purchase some audio equipment to help with these issues that we're having. Because if Wing is unavailable or possibly unavailable to host, and I have to host, then this is what happens. Because my sounds are always different, and yada yada yada. So, but if you want to support us, it's not expected. It's really greatly appreciated if you want to.
It's required.
Yeah, no, definitely not. We don't put any hold our shows a week or you get it a week earlier or everything. Our show is still out to everybody regardless if you're a patron or not. So you can head out there. Also, we have a tip jar, which is at twitchalerts.com/donate/thisxboxlife. Or if you slide to the little bit below our video right now on Twitch, you'll have a link there, as well as with everything else that we're talking about. Cafe Press, if you want to go to work in style on your casual Friday, you can support us and go there and purchase a shirt. It's cafepress.com/thisxboxlife. And I think that's it for all the plugs that we have. So, what have you been playing? Rob, you can go first.
Ori and the Blind Forest. So I picked this up. When did that come out? I think Wednesday. Fantastic game. So well done. I just love this game. However, this game is so hard. It is extremely hard. but I keep coming back. I get this frustration factor that kicks in after playing it for like half an hour. I have to put down the controller and walk away, do something else. And sure enough, I come back to it. But this game definitely put Moon Studios on the map for me as just one quality production house. They've done such a great job with this game. And I'll call it like the trailer, like the intro to the game. I've never seen anything quite like it. It's shocking. In some respects, it was very surprising what happened in the intro, and I don't want to give anything away. And I totally had a misconception with how the game actually is. And when the game actually started, I'm like, oh, this is different. Because they had a couple of videos and intros, and I think they actually showed the first couple of minutes of the game, or the first 10 minutes in some YouTube video that they had a while back. But the game is just fantastic. It's definitely worth the $19.99 that it is here in the United States, and it's definitely worth it if it goes on sale. It's just so well done. I give this one a big thumbs up. Other than that, I don't think I've played anything else really. Well, actually, I take that back. I think I went into Peggle, and I think I went into what's that? What's that one game called? Gravity something? Oh, I'm just drawing a blank right now. The one where you're just shooting in all directions. You know what I'm talking about?
Wars.
Geometry Wars. Yeah, not Gravity.
Twin stick shooter.
Yeah, that's the one. So I would go into that because I was having some trouble with Ori when the game would start up after, let's say I put the machine to sleep, I turned it off for a while, then I come back a couple hours later to continue playing. The game just doesn't start up. It sits at a black screen. I can hear it in the background. It kind of flashes a little bit. It's a variation of the startup problems that I had about a year ago with Max and Curse of the Brotherhood, sort of. But kind of as a side note, I'm part of the preview program, and I just took a survey as part of the preview program about games not starting up properly. And I'm like, yeah, I never have that problem. No, never have that problem. Literally the next day I started playing Ori and I had that problem. I thought that was kind of ironic that it happened right away. But yeah, that's about it. So Ori and the Blind Forest for me. How about you, Brun?
Well, I played Destiny. I put a video in the... Thanks, Mark. I put it in the Facebook group that I finished a Crota raid on Saturday. So we started on Tuesday. We got to Crota. Had some issues getting it finished, so we finished Crota on Saturday, and it was just Nighthawk 70, the Broken Sock, and myself, and we beat Crota with 3 people. So it took like 4 minutes and something seconds, or maybe 5 minutes or so to beat Crota. The Broken Sock ran the sword, and it was just crazy. But yeah, I put a video of it up on Facebook. So also played some Rayman, because my little boy Jameson comes up and is like, hands me my controller. Rayman? That's all he does. You're like, okay, I'm coming. And he'll sit there and just hop and jump around as I'm playing the game. So it's really funny and fun to do. So I play that. And I played Titanfall. So lots of Titanfall. So I went, I think, from 41, or whatever my level was prior. I think I'm a 48 right now. So I was trying to get to 50 and regen for the first time before the show, but I just couldn't make it. So, but that's all I have done this week. And okay, real quick, before I've watched a lot of Twitch this weekend because I'm just completely fascinated with Cities Skyline. It's like what everybody's saying SimCity should have been.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I been just watching that like crazy and watching tons of people play it, and of course our buddy Darkness429 was playing it today, and actually I won a $50 Steam card from one of his raffles, so I'm actually going to be buying that with that. So, but yeah, watched a ton of that. So a lot of playing games, a lot of watching games. So
Ron, what gen are you at on Titanfall?
Oh, I'm only one. Haven't really played that much. I got it when it was on sale for like the $13, and since then I've just played nothing but like Frontier Defense. So I love that though. So it's so much fun to play. But yeah,
Yep.
almost Gen 2. I'll be Gen 2. So
Cool.
But all right, Mark, your turn.
Oh, alrighty, and I got completely different stuff from you guys. And so first of all, I played the Smite Alpha. I tried that out. It was interesting when I was out of town last week, and a friend of the community here gave me a code to use. So I put it in while I was on the road on Xbox.com so that it would download on my Xbox while I was gone. And then it was like 5 minutes after I did that, I got a message and got an actual code from Xbox Live themselves.
Ooh.
Which I thought was pretty funny. So I gave that out to Gunny Chief. I was going to give it away on the show, but Gunny Chief was talking this week, and I noticed that he said he didn't have one, so I sent it to him. So sorry, Brian. Otherwise, if I'd have known, I'd have given it to you.
No, it's okay.
But so Gunny's got that. I did play that. I don't know if we're even allowed to talk about it. I mean, I just got the code. Said here, play it. But people are streaming it, so we should be able to talk about it. It's I think it's kind of a neat little game. I actually watched quite a bit while I was on the road. I was just laying in the hotel, had my Surface tablet up, and I was watching Twitch streams of this. And it was actually, I think it was the developers or people who worked the game, or one of these dudes, I guess, was like top in the world on the PC, and it sounds just the conversation going on with the group. I think that some of these guys were developers of the game, just on some of their talk that they had going back and forth. But it was interesting to watch them play. I kind of thought, wow, I think this looks fun. I think I might like this. But my concern was that it looks so in-depth. Like there's so many things to this game that I think it could just overwhelm me. So I got back home. I tried it out. I do kind of like the game. I think it's kind of a fun little game. But my thoughts were correct that there's so much depth and powers, and like when you in the middle of the game, you can run back to like your safe zone and go to the store and purchase powers and all these different things, and I just don't know how everything works. It's just like in the tutorial they had really didn't, to me it wasn't very straightforward on what all that stuff is and what it's supposed to do. Hopefully they kind of make that a little bit better as they move forward. Again, it's an alpha, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of fun, and I look forward to playing it some more and trying to learn what these different gods can do. Fun game. I think it's something people are going to want to definitely keep their eye on when it does come out. All right. So next run, I've got achievements in a game already that's not even out.
Okay.
And it's something that I think will surprise everybody. But interestingly enough, these do not show up in my game played, but I've already popped achievements in the game. In fact, let me take a quick look on my Xbox, because I think tell you how many achievements I got in the game if I pull up my achievements. And I was shocked that I even got achievements in this said game. When the first one popped, I was like, what? Really? I have 4 achievements in this game, so for 85 points, and the game is Battlefield Hardline.
Oh, wait. My heart hurts.
What?
My heart's hurting. What did you do? As you know what though, you're EA Access though, right?
Bingo.
Okay. As long as you didn't pre-order it, I'm okay with you playing it. If you pre-order,
let me talk. Let me talk.
Everybody, did you know that it's Wingman 709's last show this week? I'm just kidding.
No. Hold on. I had no intention of doing any pre-orders to Battlefield. You know how I feel about Battlefield. So I got back and it was available on EA Access, and the other day I was just kind of like, well, let me download it and check it out. What I really wanted to do, the multiplayer, I've seen it played in the, on Twitch and during the beta phases and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's Battlefield, it's Battlefield 4 with cops and robbers, But I wanted to see what the single player campaign was, because they really talked about like there was really going to be one. And I'm like, gee, 10 hour, I get to play the game for 10 hours. I could beat the campaign and never play the game, never have to buy the game. That was my thought.
Yeah, okay.
EA is smarter than that. So what I did is I installed the game, and I started playing the multiplayer or the single player campaign, and I went and played the prologue, and I'm kind of like, this isn't too bad. This actually is pretty good. So I finished the prologue and went and played episode 1. I think they break them down by episodes. And so I did the first chapter or whatnot in the story. And when it ended, I was really mad because it said, this is the end of what you're allowed to play in the timed trial.
Yeah. It's like 10 hours.
Well, no, for the single player, you can do the
You can only do the prologue and the episode 1 of the campaign.
That's right.
Then you spend the rest of your time
and I was like,
multiplayer.
And I was upset because I was having fun. I really, really enjoyed the campaign of Battlefield Hardline, and I was shocked. It's done really well, and I love the taser, man. I was tasing guys, man. I come around a corner and there's a bad guy, and I'm like, zzz, and he's like,
don't tase me, bro.
And I'm just like, this is too much fun. And I was popping achievements, which surprised me. I'm like, I don't even own the game. Why would I be popping achievements? But they don't show yet. Now I see them on the Xbox, but they don't show up on Xbox.com. I don't think they've showed. So those will probably populate after Tuesday or on Tuesday when the game releases. So anyways, I was like kind of bummed. I'm like, man, I was really enjoying the campaign, which really surprised me. I liked it. So then I was like, well, let's just go into the multiplayer and see what happens. And it was what I expected. It definitely seems like faster paced.
It is.
Battlefield, which kind of surprised me, but it wasn't. It didn't thrill me, but I was like, if I put some time into it, I could probably get into it. Mm-hmm. But it's got a learning curve. Obviously, I got to figure out I couldn't figure out. It was weird. Like I was unlocking stuff, or it would show like in my weapon that there was something to unlock. You get that little orange tag in the top like right corner of the box for like your rifle, and you go in there and there's like nothing to upgrade. There's like no options.
You've unlocked the ability to purchase the upgrade.
No, everything was locked.
Oh, okay.
Everything was like got a padlock on it, so I'm not really sure if that's a glitch.
It's probably the beta stuff.
But it was okay. I really didn't care. So, but the campaign actually won me over. And yes, Brun, I have pre-ordered the game. And I even spent a little extra to buy the deluxe version. Not the ultimate. Not the ultimate. I did not buy premium. But I was looking because I get 10% off, so I could buy the $60 version for what, $53, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's what.
But you didn't buy premium.
Off,
you didn't buy premium, so you didn't spend $100 and something dollars.
I did not do. But I bought for like $62. I got the game and I got a whole bunch of like
battle
packs and stuff like that. And I was comparing the two, and the price difference was like $8.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, let me just pay the extra $8 and get all this other gear, because it looks like it's going to be a lot of gear you're going to get. Maybe not. We'll see if but at least I was like, if it's not, it was only like $8.
Yeah.
But no, I did not buy premium. But I actually pre-ordered Battlefield. I can't believe it.
When I get it, I'll be getting the ultimate version too, because you're right. It is just a few dollars, and you get a couple things here or there.
The deluxe version.
Yeah, the deluxe. Yeah.
Not the ultimate, because that's with the premium.
Oh well,
that's
yeah.
$100-something.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, typically you buy the ultimate and then the premium on top of it, and then it equals out to that, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, yeah, I'm really interested because I'm not a Battlefield story person at all, and the reason why is because I'm a true Battlefield multiplayer person. But this one here actually interests me because they're kind of doing like an episode, like a TV show, like previously on such and such. You know, kind of like an Alan Wake type of thing. Because didn't Alan Wake do the previously on Alan Wake? I can't remember if that's what did that or not. But yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. But you are right; it does feel faster because it is. They've sped up Hardline because Hardline is not Battlefield 4. You know, like I don't even know why they put the word Battlefield in front of it. It should just have been Hardline or anything like that because things are different in this game. It is not a true Battlefield game, but
it's Battlefield though in the sense of the multiplayer.
Yeah, yes,
and
true.
The games look. Here's the weird thing: the game looks so much better in campaign.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge difference in the visuals between those two modes.
Right.
But yeah, I thought the campaign won me over, which is weird because it is a multiplayer game. And I don't even know how long the campaign's going to be. But Visceral has done a fantastic job so far, and that's the reason I bought the game. I actually want to go back and play the campaign, and I probably will dive into the multiplayer because there's some cool tools and there's some new stuff in there, and it's a change from the war conquest, just the same thing over and over. It is the game that people do enjoy, but it's changed up.
Yeah.
So I think if they have good server support on day one, we will see.
Yeah.
But if it does, I think people are going to really take to this, and I think they're going to be surprised by the campaign.
Yeah, and another thing is like you're right. Like Bank Heist is actually really fun. I had a blast playing that. A lot of people like playing the other one where you jump in the car because the car is the spawn point, is the capture point. So the faster you drive it, you're capping that point, and it's the other people's job to get the car and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed Bank Heist. I had a lot of fun with that. So, and you're right about the story. Like, stories in Battlefield just have always been horrible. Like, just horrible. I really was aggravated with Battlefield 4 because they made you play it to unlock weapons, and I really just don't like that. So, it's like, hey, you have to play this to unlock weapons in multiplayer, and it aggravates me. But...
And again, the reason I did the pre-order is because I want it I'm doing digital. It's mainly just so it's all ready to go when on Tuesday I can just start playing.
Right.
So it wasn't like necessarily to get gear.
Yeah.
I want to be ready to go, even though I probably won't even really get to play it until this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Because I got family in town and I'm on vacation all week, so I probably won't be playing much.
And if everything, and the thing is, like, don't get me wrong, I've always stated that I was going to buy it. I'm going to buy it, and it may be this weekend, but it's just not going to be a pre-order. Actually, it's going to be the time in which everything works, because everybody's going to be all over this game. If there's any issues, the entire world's going to know about it. So a quietness is going to be perfect in my book. That's exactly what I want. I want no issues, but we'll definitely see. So, but somebody's risking roulette again. The one that got shot last week. So, all right.
I'm alive. I live too. Why is my name blocked when? That's weird.
Huh? What?
My name's like in blocks. It's weird. Never mind. It's probably just because of the color of my chat.
No, it's the mention
name.
If you do at whatever, if anybody at your name, it'll come up in blocks. So you can see it better. So, kind of sticks out in chat at you.
Oh, my own name. Okay.
Yep, there you go. So,
gotcha,
all right.
Gotcha.
So now, everybody's good with what they've been playing? Ready to move on?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. The round table. New little image today. I had to find one. So, there were some rumors. Well, there's some confirmation, and then there's some rumors, but then it may not be true, so we'll have to talk about this and figure out. But the rumors, the one thing is that a couple games have been delayed. One, Uncharted 4, which is on the PlayStation side, and the other one was Quantum Break. So, Quantum Break being delayed.
Rainbow Six.
Was that this week? Another one this week? I missed that one.
No, but that one's been canceled. It's been delayed so many times that they actually canceled the original game, and now they're creating a new game.
Right.
We've had lots of other titles delayed. I think The Division was pushed back at one point, wasn't it? Or no, we never did get an initial release date of that one. But yeah, there's been a bunch that have been pushed back. Seems to be the norm these days.
Gotcha. But but then I was trying to find information on Quantum Break being delayed, and a lot of people, then it came back, it's like, nope, that was just a false rumor, it hasn't been official. It's not official, they haven't said anything, so I really don't know what to think. But my thing is some of the discussion in Facebook was talking about these delays, and I kind of went at this mentality of, once you're delayed so many times, you might as well just cancel the game, because to me it's going to be crap. Now, I know I'm kind of going above, like, really, Bron, you're going a little too far here. So, but the thing is that, oh man, our stuff didn't show up.
Huh?
Sorry.
What?
What? I had a sub alert attached to this, and Fair Power just alerted, and it should have popped an achievement for us, but it didn't. Sorry. But I was going into this, and my whole thought was, like, I was really thinking about Uncharted and then Quantum Break, those two, because they're big games. We've seen them talked about for like multiple years. 2 years, I think, on both games have been talked about. The original release dates on Quantum Break was supposed to be last year, and then it was this year, and then it maybe next year, and Uncharted 4 was definitely going to be this year, because they announced it like 2 years ago and then showed gameplay of it last year, and it was going to be this year because they were lacking exclusives and stuff like that, and then it got delayed until spring of next year. But my whole thought behind it is, if you're getting delayed this many times, you have problems. That's in my mind. As a developer, as what we've seen before, you don't get delayed multiple times like this unless you're having problems. And in my mind at that point is, once you see it delayed this many times, is you might as well just forget it. It's either going to come out and it's not going to be the game you think it is, or it's just going to be completely horrible, because whatever they can't get working is just either going to be cut out, which then you're just going to see this massive break in the game. So it's going to, the first part of the game will be really good, and then all of a sudden it'll just like fall apart, because that middle section where it started to fall apart would have been like where they're having their issues or where they're having their troubles. So, Watch Dogs. Yeah, somebody has a good point. Watch Dogs. But some people liked Watch Dogs. I don't want to be like, they're absolutely going to be bad. I'm just saying, in my mind, this isn't good news. It's not good news because, take all the time. I even say it. Take the time you need, make the game good. You know what I mean? If you need an extra month or two, or need to delay a month or two for polish or whatever, hey, take your month or two for polish. If I'm going to delay for a year and a half, 2 years, stuff like that, it's not take your time and make as long as the game's good. In my mind, is you just don't know what you're doing, or you just can't get it to work. So that's where I'm at on these things. But I wanted to see how you guys feel, or what your thoughts on it.
Well, I think that one of the biggest problems is they announce these games way too much in advance. And the reason for that is it's all money. It's all, these companies want to get this news out so they can get investors, and it's all their bottom line, and that's all they're looking at. And I think from our standpoint, I'd rather know, again, I don't have a problem with the delay in a game. Make it right, make it work. I'm tired of these games coming out broke. But if you are going to continually to announce a game 2 years in advance, and then get down close to it and say, we're going to push it out another 6 months, and then it's another 4 months, and then it's another 2 months. It's like we're so far off the original title time that it's like, why don't you just wait and announce it when you're you're within a year. I mean, at a year, if you know you're a year out and you're meeting your targets, and then it's like, even if you have a delay, it's probably going to be 1, or wait till it's 6 months. We don't really need 2 years of build-up for a game. But I don't know. What do you think, Rob?
This is something that has come up, a bunch in the past, and also it's also a common thing, all too common thing on the board game side. Just because not only do you have production delays, but like with the board games, for example, you also get shipping delays. Like there's all that problem with the West Coast ports and so forth. So a lot of hobbies are having this delay type of thing to get new releases out. And from a gaming standpoint, I can definitely say that having the delays, like for Quantum Break and such, it sucks that the game's not going to come out, but there's so much other stuff for me to play that it doesn't bother me a whole lot. Because I can play Ori, I can play Battlefield Hardline, whatever it is. There's no shortage of games. To kind of go with what you had just said, Mark, I would rather have them delay it than to have to patch and patch and patch and patch, like the Master Chief games or even Assassin's Creed Unity,
Battlefield.
Battlefield. I would rather not see the game until it's done.
Right.
And if it takes an extra year, fine. The risk that I see with that is if it's a smaller studio, they can eventually delay it until they can't fund themselves anymore, right? I mean, they could potentially go under unless they're part of like a big umbrella like Activision, EA, Microsoft, or whatnot. But does it bother me a whole lot when these things get delayed? Not really, just because, like Quantum Break. Quantum Break was announced, somewhere in like 1897? I mean, it was so long ago. It was announced, almost 2 years ago? Yeah, almost 2 years ago that it was at E3. Or maybe at the reveal. And we have yet to see it. At this point, it's not even, I know it's coming, but it's not on my radar. Just because it's not a game that's going to be out soon. Again, I agree with you, Mark. These games just get announced so far in advance. I mean, what's the point, really?
Yep.
Does it really benefit us to know all this detail about games? I know people demand it. People want to talk about it. Sites, blogs, etc. want to write about it. Podcasts want to talk about it, like us, I guess. But anticipating the games, I mean, I don't do that like I used to when there was less stuff out there. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a lot of it, of course, it's going to be like they like to announce them early enough for the stakeholders or for the money and for this and that, and it's just like, well, yeah, then you do it, and then you delay, and then you delay, and then you delay. Isn't that hurting your stakeholders and hurting that type of things? And then, some people's like, well, they do it for pre-orders, so they can see how many people are going to be interested in the game, would like to put their money into the game. And I'm just like, you don't really need that now if you're going to be digital. It's like anybody can buy it at any time. You don't have to pre-order to. Yeah. Like Mark said, I pre-ordered so it would be downloaded and on my machine, the day it releases. And I understand that. That makes perfect sense. You only need to pre-order it 2 days before it comes out to do that. You don't need to pre-order it a year and a half in advance to show, that you're willing to put your money in on the game and stuff like that. And I would prefer if games that are coming out in the fall, if they want to debut them at E3, then they debut them at E3 and they say they're coming out this fall. And the games are finished at that point. They know they're coming out in the fall. And I think that is what would really spark hype and discussion. Because really, talking and having a discussion on a game that has no release date is pointless. To a point. I guess I guess if it's I guess if it's a game
Well,
that's using this brand new technology and it's just this just mouth dropping type of thing. Of course, you're going to talk about it, but are we going to have an entire 20-minute discussion on next year's Call of Duty? No, that's just no, we're not. So, but yeah. I wish they would just announce it when they know that it's going to be coming soon. So
when it's relevant.
Yeah. Okay, I want to share something with you guys. I am building an Xbox One game. It is releasing June 1st. So
what year?
This year.
Oh, awesome!
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. All right.
When is your first delay going to be?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here to announce that my game has been delayed until 2025. So I'm sorry. But
keep the money rolling anyways.
Yeah, but please pre-order. In 2025 you'll get it. Or I'll just delay each year until then. But all right. Thanks for your input on the delays. I still think it's not a good thing for these ones, but all right. So what do you think the next one I have here? And this is coming from Mark. This is actually a good one, Mark. I like this one because we've said on previous shows.
It's a good one.
Oh well, I know I've said on previous shows where I don't even care if PlayStation has Halo on their console. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. Let them play it.
Right.
But the information of Titanfall. So Titanfall was an Xbox exclusive. Everybody loved it. Yes, console. Right? No.
This was on PC, wasn't it?
Yes.
PC, Xbox 360,
and Xbox console exclusive. Thank you. And the news was last year or whatever that it could be multi-platform, console-wise, for Titanfall 2. And some people's like, oh no, and a lot of people were like, yeah, it's just going to happen. Well, it's kind of official this week that the second Titanfall will be on both platforms. And what do you guys think about that? What do you think? Mark, you're Gen 10, level 50. You're the master. Why don't you go first on this one?
I don't have a problem with it. I could really care less. I'm actually... It doesn't bother me. The good thing, what I like about it going multi-platform, is that more people are going to play it, the developer's going to get more money, and we'll likely see a Titanfall 3.
Yeah.
We'll see the game is awesome. I love the game. I can't wait for Titanfall 2. I'm ready. This is a win for everybody. Right. I don't get into this whole, like the Sony people that went freaking up in arms, and not all of them, not all the fanboys, but and I should say, when I say Sony fanboys, I mean the idiots, and that would go same for Xbox fanboys. Don't be an Xbox fanboy, okay? Where Xbox rules. There's nothing wrong with it. There is things wrong with the Xbox. There's things wrong with Sony. So when I say fanboy, I just mean the idiots. They went all up in arms about Tomb Raider. Oh, you took Tomb Raider from us. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, I think all games should be multi-platform. I wish they all were.
Right.
I think Xbox gamers would benefit huge from that because they could play Uncharted, which is a fantastic series. I'm glad Sony PlayStation 4 gamers will get it. What I find interesting is, and we'll see this. Now, if you look back, they were all like, oh, Titanfall sucks, it's no good, blah, blah, blah. It's going to sell like gangbusters when it comes out when Titanfall 2 hits PS4. It will be a top-selling game for that platform.
Yeah.
But it benefits all. I mean, we're gamers, and I want all games on all platforms if possible. I think they should at least be on the Sony and Microsoft platforms at the very least, and PC. If you hit those three platforms, I really think you're going to cover the majority of the hardcore gaming community, and I think that you're going to sell the most. It'd be nice if the Nintendo Wii U got some love, but I think they've done some things to kind of market themselves out of that. So I think PC, Sony, Microsoft, Xbox, and PlayStation, if everybody would just code for them, man, we'd all maybe could get along, We'd all be happy,
Right.
So what about you, Rob? Are you glad to where do you stand on this?
As far as the title itself, Titanfall, it's not something that I've been playing as much as you guys. Actually, I haven't played it all other than the demo. Even though I own,
kick him out.
but hey, I own it on disc and digital.
Oh,
And he still hasn't played it.
oh,
No,
you
I
should
haven't.
play it. I tell you what, in my opinion, I think it's probably the best Xbox One game.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and I haven't played that many games. I play a lot of Destiny. Well, Diablo 3 is pretty good too. But I think as far as when I put it in after playing Destiny, and Destiny looks great, and when I put Titanfall in and actually played it on my TV, I looked at it, I'm like, this game looks amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I couldn't believe a game that's been out for a year like that was just that amazing when it first came out. And yeah, crazy. But
Yeah, and it came out, what, 5 months into the Xbox One life cycle? So I think it came out in March, didn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, it came out early on, and they did
Yeah.
a fantastic job with it.
Yep.
But going back to your question, I think it's fine. Again, I agree with Mark. What's going on here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Basically, get the game out in front of more people. Just more people can enjoy it, and the franchise can continue. We're seeing a lot of companies that are doing cross-platform gaming, and why not continue that trend? I don't really think it's. To me personally, it doesn't matter if a game is really unique to one console, especially since we've got the Xbox One and it's got all the games that I want to play.
Yep. All right. Well, and as far as it, sorry, I'm answering Mark's question. Yes, everything's still going out. No dropped packets.
All right, it's just weird because I'm seeing it. I'm having problems on both the console and the PC, or both. I'm getting just spinning on both. So
yeah,
it's
well,
probably just on my end.
no, it's not on your end. It's Twitch. So I was having major issues today just trying to watch anybody. It looks like it started for 5 seconds and then,
I had a lot of problems this weekend with Twitch where, or this past week, I was like watching, like Tuesday night, I was watching for like 3 hours. Nothing.
Yeah.
The next couple days, I couldn't get anything to display
Right.
for more than a couple minutes. So, and that was different networks, different device, and whether it was on my phone, whether it was on my Surface, I couldn't get anything to work.
Yeah.
So, and it was fine until just a little bit ago. Now I've got both just spinning circles at
Yeah.
me. So,
well, Hawk and your face. So if Hawk says if every game was multi-platform, then there would be not a need for multiple consoles. I can see where you can come and say that. I can see where you can come and say that, but I will say that there's different online infrastructures. The consoles are built differently. And I've always kind of made that statement. Hey, if Sony would build the console and Microsoft would run the infrastructure and the software, you would have a perfect console. And then you would only need one console. But
there's this right here.
there's the controllers.
The controller.
Yeah,
Yes,
some people
right
will fight you on that controller. Some people like the PlayStation controller better. I'm
Oh,
not a fan of it.
They're the fanboys. They're 12-year-old. They don't know any different.
They don't feel bad. I've played with
Just
them. They don't feel bad. I like the offsetting thumb sticks. That's
I hate them being jammed
the
together.
side by sides.
Those, yes, I don't like those, and their triggers are weird. It's like
Yeah.
there's no distinction between the shoulder buttons and the triggers, and
Yeah.
maybe the PS4 has gotten a little better, but they still have those thumbsticks together.
Yeah.
So,
And the thing is, the other thing with more than one console and stuff like that is, there's competition. So consoles are always going to be around. Multiple consoles will always be around because a company will always be there trying to, take that money because consoles do sell very well. Gaming is doing very well. So, but to hit my point real quick on the exclusive, hey, I'm cool with it being on both. The funniest thing I read about this, and Mark, I can't remember where I saw it at. I don't know if it was in our group or if it was somewhere on the internet, but somebody did state, it's going to be really funny when everybody on PlayStation, all the PlayStation fanboys like you were calling out, said that the game was horrible. It sucked. It didn't look good or anything like that. Now they're all going to be like, this is the best game ever. And their proof is that Bungie is horrible. Halo is a crappy game. You know, it's like, who needs Halo?
Exactly.
Who needs Halo? It's worthless. It's not as good as such and such. And now Destiny's like, Destiny's the best game ever. When those games are exactly the same thing.
Yeah, all it is the next iteration of Halo.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I like pinpointing pinpointing the things like knights are like, you know, this enemy, and like the drop ships that come in are the same drop ships that come in and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
And you know the whole thing with like, haha, you have to pay $50 to play online. Well, guess what? And it was a big deal. And Xbox sucks because of that. Well, now they're doing it, and it seems to be no problem. You know, they don't seem to have a problem with it when it's come to PS4.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous. The whole little stupid back and forth is just retarded. It's just kind of just grow up, people, and be happy with the console you bought.
Right.
Oh, and don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. I do not drink the man. I was ready to toss my box out, man. I was so freaking ticked off 2 weeks ago. You know, when it just took a big dump and I had to basically restore it back to factory reset to get it to even get back and functioning. And still, I had Vengeful Loki was over here the other day, and he came into my office here, and I turned it on, and sure enough, something didn't work right. I can't remember what it was, but I ended up having to kill the power again. And it's like, this thing hadn't even been booted up in a week. You come in, you boot it up, and right off the bat, something didn't work. And I was telling him, I'm like, this is like almost every day. You know, I don't get it. This thing has just got so many problems. And it's okay to be frustrated at the product you buy. You don't have to love it and think nothing is wrong with it. Right. You know, so it's just, you know, it's technology, crap breaks. You know, it's the very first run. It's a day one edition. I will probably be buying another one before too long because I'll have to, you know, replace this day one hardware that's going to crap out on me quick. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with all that, but it's all good, and I look forward to the fanboys, Sony fanboys going, oh, Titanfall 2 is awesome, game of the year. Yeah. I'm just going to laugh, man.
Yeah. Where is Vengeful been? I haven't seen him around.
He's been busy.
Oh.
He's been on vacation and whatnot.
I did.
Busy. He actually, he was talking to me. He's actually getting, and I know he did. He picked up Borderlands, the Handsome Collection. So you'll see me playing that. And he also picked up, because it's actually installing right now on his box. I don't know how I know this. He picked up Murdered Soul Suspect, which I wanted to point out right now. This game, it's a $50 game that is for sale for $16.50 on Xbox Live digitally. So this is a game that when it first came out, I kind of wanted to buy it, but the developer closed shop the week it was released.
Yeah.
They went under. So there's no support, no patching or nothing. But I've not heard of anything bad about this game. I've not heard that it's had any issues. But it was one of those, I'm still not going to pay $50 for a game that may not have any support going forward. But it is $16.50 right now, and I almost pulled the trigger on this the other day, and I didn't. And today it's actually installing. So I was like, thank you, Loki. So if you set up sharing with a friend, make sure that we both reciprocate. He just got Hardline. I got Borderlands and Murdered Soul Suspect. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I've had the hardest time getting him as a friend on my Xbox. It's crazy because I've friended him.
That's because he doesn't like you. He told me. He said that Brun guy dude, stop friending me.
Okay, well, I mean, he followed me, and I
get
friended.
A hint?
Well, we were friends at one time, and then it said he followed me, so maybe he did kick me out of his friend list because he's mad at me or something. I don't know. Now my feelings are hurt. So thanks, Vengeful. So
I'm just kidding.
All right. Final. Do you guys have any more on that topic?
I don't think so.
No. All right. Final topic of the day, and this was also a good one, Mark. So, yeah, And this is one where we've had this discussions at work, and we'll see. And we've actually talked about it too. So we might just want to make it a quick topic, because I know where Rob stands, and I think you guys remember where I stand on this. But does Microsoft need to enter the VR race? Does Microsoft need to get virtual reality? So Project Morpheus is PlayStation 4, and then Facebook owns Oculus Rift. So that'd be for the PC and for anything else that thing wants to hook up to. Maybe they'll allow you to hook it up to your Xbox, and then Microsoft's like, we are in the VR race. We have Oculus Rift. But does Microsoft, in your guys' opinion, does Microsoft need to enter the VR race? Do they need to put their hat in the ring, let's say?
Nope.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
Go.
And here we're talking
topic.
about virtual reality as opposed to augmented.
Yes, we are.
Which is what they're going
into. We'll get on to that part in a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll throw in my 2 cents.
Okay.
So, as somebody that's tried this kind of stuff, we've got an Oculus at work, and I've got Google Cardboard at home. For those of you that have never heard it and you have Android phones, you can buy a $10 or $15 piece of cardboard that you assemble, and then your Android phone goes to the end of it, and it is your display. It's got 2 little lenses. And I've tried that, and I can tell you this much: a virtual roller coaster nauseates me as much as a real one. I actually went on one, just kind of a side note here. I went on a virtual roller coaster ride, and I was literally like nauseated for like the next hour and a half. That's how long it took me to recover from it. So, there's some inherent problems with virtual reality, and of course, adoption rate is big also. I think that it's something that's been tried over and over in the past, and it has not gone well. Everything from like the old Virtual Boy, I think, is the one that Nintendo did, to various headsets for the PCs. None of it's gone anywhere. So I can absolutely see Microsoft's just hanging back and going, hey, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in this, VR sphere of things. Let's see what happens with Oculus. Because here's a quick question. Okay, so Oculus, how expensive is that thing going to be? Is it over $1,000?
Oh, no.
A couple hundred? Do we know any pricing on it?
No, there's no pricing on it. I'm telling you, that's the thing. $299 is going to have to be like the entry,
Right.
fee into it. Nobody's going to pay more money than what a console costs to strap something to their face
And get sick.
for a possibility of being able to use it with a game.
Yeah.
There's just nobody wants to pay $100 for a Kinect.
Yeah.
And it tracks you, listens to you, it does all of those things. Everybody's like, no, I'm not paying that much money for one of those things. Those things are worthless. I'd rather, yada, 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 whatever, place reason why I hate it here. But it's just like, so you're going to say, but a TV screen you're going to strap to your face. You're okay paying. Yeah, thank you. We're getting some right now.
Yeah.
Something you're strapping to your face, that's exactly what I'll pay a bunch of money for. But, I don't know the entry level for it, Rob, so there hasn't been any things yet. But we were talking about it at work, and it's $299 has to be your height, your max. If you hit $300-$400, I just don't know. You'll get some diehard. You'll sell some, but you're not going to hit mass market that way.
Oh yeah, and I don't think the quality on some of this stuff is quite there. Like on my phone, this is I think it's it's a Galaxy Note 3. I think it's like a $600 phone.
Right.
This is double the cost of, let's say, a proposed Oculus, and the quality on the videos. And granted, they're just videos. It's okay. it's not fantastic.
Right.
I mean, something like Oculus would need to be fantastic, great quality, like HD quality, which I don't think it is, for people to accept it.
Yeah. Well.
And go
yeah.
ahead.
No. Go finish. All right. Go ahead.
No. So, that adoption rate would have to be huge also in order to make it feasible for people to develop for. Because I look at what happened with Kinect. I mean, Kinect, like you said, was $100 device, and a lot of people won't even buy that. And why would a studio develop a game for that? Like, wasn't there some game that they had a demo, like it used the Kinect and you would do something like you're holding a gun and you'd like swap in parts? Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that? Was it on E3 maybe?
No.
I remember some guy was on stage when he was demoing it.
It was Future Soldier. I'm drawing a blank.
Future Soldier, Ghost Recon?
Ghost Recon Future Soldier.
Yeah.
You could do stuff with the Kinect with when you're in like the gun range and to swap things out and reload and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yep, Hawk's saying Ghost Recon, yep.
Yeah, so I mean, you get some of that stuff, but I mean, I don't hear anybody talking about anything along those lines nowadays. Kinect's been out for years.
Right.
And, I don't hear people talking about, that coming out in new games or even using it. I could see people even that buy a 3D, or not 3D, a VR headset, they purchase it and, it's sitting on the desk next to them while they're playing because they're still playing it the old way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you have to port functionality in, but you can't port functionality in. I guess the only thing you can port functionality in my mind, would be in flying games. But then you got to build games for it, and how much of it, to me, I call it a gimmick, because to me it's just like the Kinect. It's gimmicky, and
yeah.
What are we going to do after that? But E3 comes, okay, so predictions for E3 real fast. E3 rolls around, Project Morpheus is coming out spring of 2016. They're going to probably not give a price at E3.
Okay.
But they're going to come out and say, here is all of our stuff. And they're going to spend half of their conference on VR games. Very similarly, if you remember back in the past when Microsoft spent most of their conference on Kinect games. That's going to be a horrible idea. That's just my opinion. To me, I say Microsoft comes out and says, we have this whole Windows 10 initiative. Games you can play on Windows, you're going to play on Xbox games, you're going to be able to play on your PC. And we're partnering with Facebook and Oculus Rift. So, does Microsoft need to enter the VR race? No. If they do, what should they do? Go with Oculus Rift.
Yeah,
why do you have to own the device to get something to work with it? You know what I mean? Right. Don't put a bunch of money into it. Just say, hey, we'll let you guys connect to the Xbox One. People can build games for it. We can get this whole Windows 10 thing going because that's what we want to do. They're already doing that, so why would they do that? And then they have the AR, which to me, I like AR better than VR because AR is something that's supposed to be practical. And people keep trying to say that they're building that HoloLens for the Xbox. That is completely false. That device is not for the Xbox. That device is a device.
Didn't it start as... I think it originally started as a Xbox project, but then it branched off. I remember hearing that.
It's just... With the HoloLens, it's just meant for practical use. They said that they may build games for it, to use with it, possibly, or but nothing where it's going to be like, oh, you have to have an Xbox to have that, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think if they did an integration with the HoloLens and the IllumiRoom? Because we know they were working on IllumiRoom for the Xbox.
It'd be, I don't know.
Maybe they'll come up with some kind of, product that uses both.
Yeah. Well, the HoloLens is going to be more than $299. It's going to be a $600, $700, $800 device. Yeah. So it's, I mean, think of it like Google Glass. It's a more competitor to Google Glass than it is to any of the VR headsets. But to answer like the thing about the VR, does Microsoft need to enter the race? No. If you do, just go team up with Oculus. Don't build your own thing, you know. So.
Or buy Oculus.
Yeah, don't do that either. keep your money out of it, so then when it doesn't work, you can just be like, just dust your hands off and be like, well, we're done with that. So,
Mike, we out.
Yeah, peace.
Although, I'm pretty optimistic with what's going to happen with Oculus. With what's his face, John Carmack being like the head tech guy over there now.
Very smart guy.
Yeah.
Well respected in the gaming community too.
Oh, huge.
So I mean, yeah. So
but his reputation's not going to get people to plunk down $600 for an Oculus Rift to play video games.
Yeah, they got to be the Oculus Rift and Project Morpheus. I think $299 is as high as you can go. So, but yeah. All right, you guys done? Anything else?
I'm good.
Nope. Good. Yeah. All right. Well, with that said, we are on to the community. So, once again, go out to our Facebook group. It is this facebook.com/groups/this Xbox Life. And, if you're not a member on there, request to be on there. We're quick to respond. If you only have one friend, like we've experienced before, put that in there or let us know, message us, some other way, Twitter or something like that. Let us know, like, hey, it is me. I know I only have one friend, but I'm doing it just so I can get in the group or something like that, so we can tell you away from a spammer. Twitter.com/this Xbox Life is how you can tweet and interact with us that way. You can leave us a voicemail on thisxboxlife.com. Off to the right-hand side, it'll say send voicemail. Click there, follow the prompts, and you can hear on the show, which is very nice. So if anybody wants a task for next week, somebody send us in a voicemail. Maybe Vengeful Loki can send in a voicemail and talk about why he doesn't like me anymore, and what I can do to get his friendship back.
Well, if you weren't getting
this is a family show, though.
Oh,
yeah, Brun, if you weren't getting the hint on live, why would he leave you a voicemail?
I want him to virtually say it to my face through a voicemail on the site.
The strongest words are no words.
Oh, that's crappy. So, all right. Again, patreon.com/this Xbox Life if you want to become a patron. And twitchalerts.com/donate/this Xbox Life if you would like to leave a tip. So all Patreon and tips are going to save money for audio equipment. And if you want to dress to impress, during your next job interview, go to cafepress.com. Buy a T-shirt; they'll love you for it. So
nice.
Or coffee mugs. After you get that job, then you go buy yourself a coffee mug, and you can just walk around and support us that way.
There should be a swing line stapler with a TXL on it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, yes, Facebook did buy Oculus.
Yes,
that's the question. Rob, don't read that list there. Oh yes, somebody updated it for me. Thank you, whoever updated
You're
that.
welcome.
I appreciate it. I've been off my rocker today. I'm telling you. So I appreciate that. But what do we got coming out this week?
All right, so for the 360, we have Battlefield Hardline, we have Resident Evil Revelations 2, Episode 4, and we have Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2, Atlas Mugged. It seems like Tales from the Borderlands Episode 1 came out like last year, didn't it? It's so long ago. Unlike the Resident Evil Revelations, which aren't these things coming out every week now or every other week? At least the frequency on those. is much greater. Then for Xbox One, Battlefield Hardline, Final Fantasy, Type 0 HD, Resident Evil Revelations 2, Bladestorm Nightmare, Cabela's African Adventure, and the Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2 Atlas Mugged. So that is it. It's quite a long list, actually.
Yeah. Where can you snag those games?
Very good question, my friend. One place, possibly for some of these, is to go to Amazon. Just make sure to go to thisxboxlife.com and to click on the Amazon link in the top right before you go, so that a tiny itty bitty eensy weensy little portion of the purchase comes to us. It does not come, does not cost you anymore for that, but Amazon thanks us for sending you their way. Right. And yeah, there we go.
All right, Mark, we had a request in chat. Do you want to go over that really fast?
Sure, I can do that. The question was, how do you do the game sharing on the console, and how good does it work? So essentially what you need to do is, first of all, it needs to be somebody, I recommend that it's someone you do trust. But even if you don't, you can set it up. And I would set it up, even if you trust them, set this up so that they can't log in on your account. That protects both of you. But anyways, what it is, essentially, I got a friend here in town, and I go to his house. I take my Xbox to his house, and I log into his Xbox with my Xbox account. And I set his console as my Xbox Live Gold. And again, I recommend you set it up so that you have to lock it down. There's an option of how do you want to have the account on there, and just select lock it down. That means they would have to log in with your ID and password to access your account or purchase any games on your account. So as long as you don't share the password with them, they can't do that. That protects you. And then they would then log into your Xbox with their account. They essentially set your Xbox up as their Xbox Live Gold, lock their account down so you can't do the same to them. It protects both of you guys, and then you take your original Xbox, which is now his home gold, or hers, you take it back to your house, you log in, it's just, you will still log into your account. Mine still automatically logs in as me. But when he downloads something or buys something, it automatically installs on my machine because my machine is his Xbox Live Gold, home gold. Yep. When I buy something, it automatically installs on his machine. We can both play that game. We can both play it if it's a co-op game like Halo. I've played Halo with him. He owns the game. I do not. But we can both play in the same co-op game. We've done that with Dying Light I bought. He was able to play it, get in. We can get in at the same time. It works great. The caveat to that is if you plan to get a second Xbox in your home, you would not be able to add that to your home gold. So if I was to get another box and put it down in my family room, and I would want to share that console with my one that upstairs, which has all my stuff, it would break that relationship with my friend. Yep. And he would no longer get my games. Yeah. And I would no longer get his. So if you're only going to have one box and the other person's only going to have one, it's great. You can share. Another caveat, make sure you get hooked up with someone who is going to share that cost. It can reduce your cost. I don't have to buy games. I had no intention to buy the Borderlands games because I did not like the pre-sequel on 360. And I've played so much on Borderlands 2, I really didn't plan to play it again. He bought it. Now it's free. I'm like, well, those are achievements I can go play, and I can do co-op with him. So I will be playing those with him. And then I got Murdered Soul Suspect. It's a free game I didn't have to pay for. He's getting Battlefield for free. So he'll be able to play that campaign and multiplayer if he wants. So, but I have heard from other people that are doing this that they're bummed because their partner doesn't buy anything.
Yeah.
So get with someone who's going to share that cost and not just mooch off of you. So I got a really good person. We share, we both buy stuff, and it works out really well.
Yeah.
So
one other issue that does kind of exist is if you have multiple people in your household, because the way Xbox One works is only one person needs to have gold. The primary person on the Xbox needs to have gold. And then anybody else that logs into that machine actually shares that gold or gets, the gold benefits, on that Xbox. So, like with me, I have multiple kids. They have 360s, so they have gold of their own because they still have to have, gold for that. But if they didn't, they could still come on the Xbox One, play all my games, play online, play everything because I had gold. So that's one reason why I can't share is because, I can now, but because they both have separate gold accounts now, so it's all good. But I could go to work and do that sharing with somebody as long as they didn't have that same situation as well. But that was stopping me previously with somebody, but now they have multiple machines at their house and they're all sharing between people there. So, but yeah. Because the main reason why it works is when you download a game, you get a copy for your account, you get a license for your account, you get a license for your primary machine. Any game that's downloaded with a license on your primary machine, anybody who logs into that machine can play it. So that's basically how it works. So Mark's machine is the other person's primary machine, so that one gets the license, and then he gets a license where when he signs in, he can play it. So, but that's how it works.
And there is a limit, supposedly, to how many times you can set your box as a home gold. Supposedly, it's 3 times within a year. So you're not going to want to swap that out too many times.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. And according to, I don't have an official word from Microsoft, but we've had people in our community who have talked to Xbox support on the phone, and multiple people have confirmed that Microsoft has no problem with you doing that. It's not breaking a term of service or anything. Again, that's word of mouth, so don't take my word for it if you get in trouble for it. But I haven't seen anything from Microsoft saying that they're against doing that.
Yeah. So
it's designed, it's built in to share your home gold. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing them. So
until at E3 when they announced that you and 10 of your friends are going to be able to share all your stuff. I can't.
Right. Eventually they were going to allow you to do your friends. So, but yeah, so we'll see. I would expect that to expand and be a viable option in the future.
Yep. Me too.
Even more so than what it is. So.
Yeah, like I said, E3. That's my hope. So, but all right. I think that's it. Everybody good? Anybody last things before we take off?
Nope.
I'm good.
Take it out.
So, I'm Brun BJ Swick 33. Everybody have a good one.
I'm Rob, also known as Prestar. Thanks for listening. Again, everybody, we'll catch y'all next week.
And I'm Mark, aka Wingman 709. Take it off.